woke from the slumber that is over, rise and be lower, while recollecting the strangest dream. I have been in the center of an eye.
Oh, sure. Los Angeles Center for Digital Art has been here for nearly 3 years. In April will be our 3rd anniversary. We started out in Hollywood. We had a much smaller location upstairs in the building in Hollywood. And we had a great beginning, and the response was most enthusiastic. And I hooked up with the people from Gallery Row, Bert Green across the street, who I'm sure you're going to be interviewing. And I knew each other from before, and I heard about what was going on down here. And so I became part of the grand conspiracy to create Gallery Row. And so we were barely open 6 months, and then we came down here, got the space. Rob Frontier, the gentleman that owns the building, is most generous with us in terms of giving us good deals on the rent so we could afford to come down here. And we've opened up these big, lovely spaces and filled them up full of art. This is a piece here. We collect stuff from all over the world during these competitions. It's great. And also all over the United States, not just New York and Los Angeles, where the majority of the art comes from. This is from Wisconsin, and this is great. This is called Feral Dumb Man #1. What could be more funny than that? And from the Midwest, this is speaking from the voice of its own territory here. So this was also generated entirely on the computer. It's an amazing image. This is a brilliant artist. We just love his work. It's so funny, and it also says something that we all need to hear. This piece is from Estonia. This one here is also from the United States. This is another fun piece that's entirely created on the computer. Now we move all the way from Estonia to our own neighborhood. This is the corner of 6th in Los Angeles, which is just 2 blocks from where I'm standing. You can see that we built Gallery Row out of a pretty funky neighborhood, and we're all very excited that we're are able to bring something nice to the area and help to improve it. It's been a huge project. So anyway, 2 blocks from here still looks like this. It's a beautiful shot. This is a piece by an American artist. Need I say more? He's from Los Angeles as well, so we have a couple LA artists here. This piece is from Berlin. It's very electronic. She uses this sort of natural image here of these plants and takes the data from this to generate all this blasted out stuff that looks very electronic here. It's a very interesting piece. A lot of these people are people with high-level degrees and educators that do very theoretical work that's pretty out there. We support that. Here's an artist from San Francisco, an interesting composite image. These stairs, it reminds us of M.C. Escher. It's a beautiful image. This artist here is all the way from Poland. We get a lot of work that has this sort of mandala effect. We'll look through that, and this one is one of the more outstanding examples. It's laced with hundreds, literally, of these human figures flying around in this dance-like arrangement. It's a very beautiful piece. Art and technology is a huge international movement. It's one of the most important areas being explored currently in the arts. It has a long history since the invention of the computer, which was right around World War II and shortly thereafter in the 50s. The very first attempts at making art on digitally were in the late 50s. And lately, in the last 10 years or so, it's really exploded. And so we try to represent the history of digital work, which is a little obscure. People don't really know much about that. So if we can dig it up, we try to show some of the older work when we can. Largely, most of the work is by emerging and living artists, such as this show today.
Well, that was Rex, and this is a fascinating gallery. As you can see, each gallery we've gone to is completely distinct and unique, and that's one of the beauties and the wonder of being part of the Art Walk, and we'd like to thank you very much, Rex.
Thank you so much. It's really
great
lovely to see
interview.
you again. Thanks
yes,
for
sir.
coming in.
Thank you. it could be natural. The thing
Hello, my name is George Matos. I'm the host, producer, and creator of The Literature Show. And here is my co-host, Mr. Trevor Dewberry.
Hi, my name is Trevor Dewberry. I'm the co-host of The Literature Show, and we're here with Julie Swayze, and she will tell us about her store in Los Angeles.
Hi, I own Metropolis Books with my husband, Stephen Bowie. It's located at 440 South Main Street between 4th and 5th, and we are a general bookstore with lots of fiction, classics, and all the bestsellers.
Excellent. We're very glad and overjoyed to be here because our thing is books, so we'd like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind. So tell us a little bit about your store.
Well, we opened December 1st, and I actually come from a background of retail. I have a business degree, and I worked 17 years as a store manager for for Cost Plus and Pure One Imports, and 4 years as a buyer for Robinson's May for stationery and gifts. So sort of put all that background together, and I worked with Valley Economic Development Community Group, and they found the space here in the Canadian building and helped negotiate the lease. And after that, I just sort of began buying books and opened up.
And why do you feel that it was important that you have a bookstore in this particular location in downtown Los Angeles?
Well, actually, I had looked at what market was underserved, because when you put a new business together, you want to be sure that you're actually in a market that could support you. In other words, a feasibility study that'll determine if it's viable. So with Pasadena was very much a saturated market in terms of retail, and I couldn't even actually find a space to lease that would have been the right size. Downtown's an underserved market. A lot of the retail dollars leave downtown and are in Pasadena, West LA, Los Feliz. So it made sense, plus there aren't any general bookstores. And my friend Mark Schumacher opened the Old Bank DVD store in 2005, and it just sort of gave me the idea that if you were to open a business, that downtown is definitely populated and underserved with the retail market.
I take it that this is your very first business, and why exactly this location? This is the downtown Los Angeles CCE, Central City East, and why this location? Again, it was a market. It was close to Mark Schumacher's store, and I just sort of felt that with DVDs, that actually books made sense as well. So it just seemed like, since the historic core was available, I did look at some areas that were a little bit further east and west of here, and they just seemed to be where there wasn't a lot of activity, where Main Street seemed to be sort of starting that sort of renaissance, more so as a street, and some of the other stores where it was just seemed like there was lofts but not really a lot of retail. And I definitely wanted to put a bookstore by residents and not have them sort of have to hike to come get me, but kind of be in the center of where they were, so sort of the center of where all the lofts are being built.
I see over here in this section, over to my left, that you have a lot of books in relationship to the early history of the downtown area. Maybe we can take a look at those. Okay.
This is one of our more popular areas. It's the historic books that are on historic Los Angeles, historic core. You actually can even see in this book the Canadian building which we're standing in, that was built in 1909, and the photos from actually from 1911. And other books are Art Deco, Boyle Heights, Olvera Street, the Pacific Electric Red Cars, and Chester Place. And people just love these books because they basically just go back into the history of Los Angeles, and they can see the buildings that they live in.
Tell us about the people who wrote these books. These individuals historians? Are they local residents?
All of the people that wrote these books, and actually they'll be in March to sign these books. 8 of the authors are local historians. They all live within the historic core in the area and have done extensive research and archives, and the people who just have a passion for the past of Los Angeles past.
Julie, I realize that there is a diversity of books here as I look around. You have Paulo Coelho. I've read that book. Actually, you have Devil and Miss Pine, and I read one of his books, The Alchemist. And I noticed that you have a diversity of books in your bookstore. As an African-American owner, why not just African-American books?
Well, I think that sort of lends itself to the actual market that you're in. And if the historic core had, say, 4 bookstores and were served by Borders and Barnes & Noble, and also had several independence, then you could really become a niche market where you basically could have a mystery bookstore and a fantasy bookstore and an African American bookstore. But being that this is sort of an emerging area, you really should go general. And I think that basically you're kind of serving everybody in the community, because I do have different sections and things like that. But what's really actually selling is just a little bit of everything, because if there's no bookstore, certainly just having a bookstore means that you have a selection you didn't have, say, in November of 2006. You now have a wide selection. So to go so narrow so soon, you really can't do that. It would be practical. I actually own the store with my husband, Steve Bowie, he's sort of a silent partner. He still works his regular job. He's an engineer for Northrop Grumman, but he does help me out occasionally for Art Walk and sometimes on the weekend.
Okay, here we are at 626 on Spring Street, and we're here to share this, enlighten these youth right here about the different types of mediums of art, and just to expose them to another aspect of downtown Los Angeles, that everything is not on San Julian.
Hey, what's your name?
William Vivian.
Give him the mic. What's your name?
My name is Mitchell Celestine.
Yes, sir. His name?
My name is Eric Hurtado. Gonzalo Escobar.
And what you got to say? Okay, all right.
I gotta say that art is the best thing ever.
My name is Johnny Fernandez. My name is Johnny Fernandez.
My name is Cesar Hurtado. My name is Stefan McFadden.
Stefan, are you an artist?
Yeah.
No,
Maybe.
Well, so the first artist, what is when you come here to Charles Bibbs' works, what do you feel? What do you think?
I feel like being creative.
Okay, next one.
When I come here, I feel like I wanna paint everything and be happy.
What kind of artist do you want to be?
A great artist.
A great artist. I like that. Now we give it back to Regina. We're about who you are. Union Rescue Mission. What do you mean by that?
Union Rescue Mission is a homeless shelter where we temporarily house families that have been displaced. These children are part of that program, and we're exposing them. I do have a question for the children, though. Of all the art that you have seen today, have you seen anything that you think you can do yourself?
I like the one with the house, with the tree. Yes.
You think you can draw one that well?
Yeah.
Talking to the mic.
My favorite one of the pictures is this one right here.
Hold tight. Which one?
Right there. Yes.
With the lady standing in the cave?
Yeah.
What you like about it?
I like that it got a lot of writings on it.
Think you could do something like that?
Yeah.
I like the one with the White House because it's funny.
Over there, what are they looking at?
Okay, who else?
I like the one with that White House. It looks like it's easy to draw.
You think you can draw it?
Kind of.
Draw something like it?
Well, kind of exactly like it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can we just wave at you and cheese it on
You know, first of all, this is Blaze and doing the art walk, and we're just having a quiet moment here in Charleston. The Master, some people say the Prince, I don't know. Eddie Orr and I read a lot, I know who you are, but let's just say Charles Bibbs is in the
accomplished fine artist, entrepreneur, as we were just learning, and philanthropist that has always believed that we are the keepers of our culture, and as such has spent much of his time working toward developing a cohesive, energized African-American community. Now, you're not really a black artist, but let's talk a little bit about the responsibility that you have, like people having your works, and as opposed to like negative DVDs, negative movies, rap movies. So this is a medium that people embrace, and so they need to get what out of it, in your opinion? Back to my camera.
Okay. Well, like I was telling Mr. Orr earlier, is that you have a responsibility to the clients that you maintain, or to the people who are interested in your work. Okay, and I think along with that is a level of education. Okay, because people are seeking that. Okay, so it's a relationship. It's not just somebody comes in and buying your work. When they buy the work, they've bought into a relationship. Okay, so you have a responsibility to reciprocate on that, to react to that. That's by engaging those people and the involvement and what it involves in having African American art in your home. Okay, it's not just the art; it's the artist too. Because you have just you're in people's homes that you don't even know. Yeah. So you're there. You know. So in a sense, they're like relatives to me. If somebody has my work, they're part of me. It's almost like having a cousin. Yes. So I think that's important.
Books?
Yeah, these are books that we've purchased that we like to have in the gallery so that people, you know, can come in. And the thing that we're trying to create here at the 626 Gallery is more than a gallery where you come in and look at art. Okay, but it could be a meeting place. It could be a place where you socialize. Okay, so eventually we're going to have the whole place furnished up, and we're not interested in entertaining large crowds of people, because see, if you have this place packed with people, then you've lost the focus. You know, because people are into themselves, in each other, and not necessarily the artwork. Now, if I can bring in a small group of 8 to 15 people, lock the doors, okay, give them a half-hour seminar on collecting art, then I've got their undivided attention. See?
A half-hour seminar.
Yeah. So I can wine and dine them and treat them like the important people they are.
This is Blaze from the Arts, Culture, and Us, and we're here tonight on the Art Walk, which is, I believe, the second Thursday of every month in the downtown Los Angeles area. We're at 626 South Spring Street, where we have Mr. Charles Bibbs Gallery. It's a collection of a lot of his fine work and many other artists that he thinks has potential. Come. It's a great location. You'll just love it, love it, love it. They do events all the time. We're not allowed to sell anything, but you can check them out. Just put Charles Bibbs on Google and you'll run into it, or put, is it called Studio 626? Is there a Studio B?
It's called the 626 Art. The 626 Art Gallery at Studio B.
Okay.
That's
and if he's not here, you can ask for Barbara or who?
Barbara Taylor and Cheryl Rente.
Excellent. Okay, so this is Blaze Out, and come on down next month for the Art Walk or anytime. It's a great place. Downtown is pretty safe. So this is Blaze from the Arts, Culture, and Us, and we are continuing on another segment of the Art Walk, which takes place when?
Every second Thursday of the month from noon to 9.
And this is my good friend and longtime associate, actually, Nick. And Nick is going to tell us a little bit about where we're at and the significance of this. What's the name of it?
Right now we're sitting in niche.la Video Arts. And we are a dedicated video art gallery and digital art gallery as well.
So give your address to where we're at so people know. Because tell them also, since you're also part of Gallery Row, and we'll talk a little bit, tell them what the boundaries are of the Gallery Row area?
First off, right now we are at 453 South Spring Street in Suite 441 and 443. I bring that up because this is a little different from all the other art galleries in the neighborhood, and that is we're actually on the 4th floor inside of a taller building. We're not a storefront, and we don't have windows that you could peep into. You actually have to come inside and ride the elevator up, and hopefully they'll work.
But that's right on the north corner on Spring, right off of 5th Street.
Right, correct.
And let's talk a little bit about what's in here and some of the opportunities, benefits, and what makes it unique.
You're talking
on Wednesday nights.
No,
what makes it unique?
Well, as a video art gallery, we have the unique challenge of having a different kind of establishment. We don't show oil paintings, your standard. Well, I don't want to say standard. Everything is unique and beautiful, but what we do is very technologically advanced in terms of the history of art. It's very new, video art specifically, and digital art.
Tell us a little bit about what video art is for people like myself that aren't quite clear.
Well, the easiest way to explain it is video without a story. And I say that lightly, and typically...
Somehow I like that. Yeah.
I mean, you go to movies and you pay $11 to watch a beautiful story, a narrative, and you hope to walk out with, knowing characters and stuff like that. Here, it's really the visual medium is the challenge. We are trying to break the boundaries of what is possible to create, what is possible for you to see as an audience. And using video and computer technology, a lot of things are available to us for the first time. And you see it all the time in special effects summer blockbuster movies. You see monsters for the first time that look incredibly real. So this is an art gallery that actually really just responds to those skill sets. We want to show video art, basically video of things that you didn't think were possible to create,
What happens on Wednesday?
Well, every Wednesday, actually, because we have an 18-seat screening room in here, every Wednesday we show free movies to the public. And basically, my business partner and I, Woody Wise, and we decide what movies that we think are credible, important to film goers, to film fans, and we show them every Wednesday at 8 o'clock for free to the public. You just have to RSVP, of course. But the first show that we showed was Dreams by Akira Kurosawa. Last week we showed Dead Man by Jim Jarmusch. So, our tastes run from foreign films, obviously, to domestic films, black and white to color. So we're trying to show it all, and we're trying to show a vast spectrum of what we think, really stands the test of time in terms of film.
So, also, over here I noticed that you're having a new little production going on, and I'll take a few shots at it in a minute. But what's going on over there in that editing room?
Well, right there, what we've created is a film, video-friendly place for auteurs, film fans, people who have a project to come here and be able to edit their work and then to screen them here as well, right next door. So what we were trying to do is just to create a very positive workshop environment. And that's one of the reasons why we have the Wednesday night screenings. It's an opportunity for people in love with film, making films, to get together, to express their ideas, to share concepts, to meet one another and hopefully collaborate on future projects. So what we've done next door is create a facility to enable them to achieve their dreams.
Now, the other thing is we touched briefly upon Gallery Row, the organization. I think we would have to at least say some shout-outs to Cheyenne or some of the others, and just let the viewers know. I know you're kind of quiet about it, but the impact that Gallery Row, the organization, may have had on the development downtown. A private organization.
It's nothing I'm not shy to talk about. It's quite an achievement, and I really don't know how to express it in words because there isn't any one single person that can claim credit. It really is the beauty of the Gallery Row project, or whatever you want to call it, comes from everybody getting together, because it wouldn't happen if these creative business owners didn't take the risk. It wouldn't happen if the property owners were willing to take lesser rent. It wouldn't have happened, for any number of reasons. It couldn't have happened.
Try to get over here, catch up to the art
walk poet? The poet walk, yes. That's another example of one of the great things that have come up unexpectedly, is the poet walk.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to get over here to Pete's Cafe and maybe meet up with the poet walkers. But for now, blaze out. Not everybody can sit still like that up here. I'm glad you're aware that it's necessary. This is Blaze. I'm here at Bert Green's gallery here on 5th Street and Main in downtown Portland. Columbus and his errant crew landed on the glorious coast of Mexico. After capturing them, Aztec authorities learned that an unknown land existed far away to the east. Such discovery was seen as an act of grace, a blessing from the Almighty God of War, our Lord, Huatlazapoki. The emperor desperately needed more souls for the sacrifice to the gods and more slaves to support its thriving economy. Seeing a map brought by the strangers, our ancestors made a monumental decision to explore and colonize the new continent. How shall we call this land? Asked the Supreme Council. It is what Mexico is not, said General Acer. Therefore, we shall call it Land A, Mexico.
Then we'll just